Hey everyone! Today I'm super excited to show you this custom GPT I've been working on. It's designed to be an expert in assessment design, specifically for UNSW. So let's dive right in and see how it handled my questions. First, let me show you the master prompt I used to create this custom GPT, often referred to as a meta prompt. The prompt is pretty detailed, so it knows exactly what kind of help it's supposed to provide. Things like UNSW guidelines, creating rubrics, and even evaluating existing ones. I also included a number of resources specific to UNSW, serving as the knowledge base. Now it's ready to chat. All right, let's test it out. I'll pretend to be an educator teaching Introduction to Programming and ask for help designing a short assignment. So the first question I asked was, how can I align my assessment with UNSW policies? The response was really comprehensive. It started by emphasizing the importance of aligning assessment tasks with the specified learning outcomes of the course. This means each assessment should reflect the course and program learning outcomes and include a variety of tasks that cover the range of learning outcomes. It also highlighted the necessity of providing feedback to enhance learning. Feedback should be meaningful, timely, and constructive, typically provided within 10 working days. Fairness and impartiality are also crucial, ensuring that all students have an equal opportunity to demonstrate their learning. Standards-based assessment was another key point, linking assessment criteria and performance descriptors explicitly. Incorporating self and peer assessment, quality assurance, and clear communication and documentation of all assessment details were other important principles. Overall, this ensures our assessment practices are fair, transparent, and supportive of student learning. That was a great start. The response covered a lot of ground, and it's clear how well aligned it is with UNSW's policies. Now let's move on to the next question. My second question was, is there any rule that I need to follow when assigning weights to my assessments? The response was spot on again. It mentioned the importance of a balanced distribution of assessment tasks throughout the course. No single assessment task should be weighted more than 60% of the overall course result, except for research or project-based assessments and theses. The percentage weight was accurate. I even double-checked it with UNSW's assessment design procedure. It also advised limiting the number of summative assessment tasks to a maximum of 4 per course, and ensuring at least one of these tasks is scheduled before the end-of-term examination period. For project-based and group assessments, the weighting of marks should be clearly stipulated, especially if individual contributions are not separately assessed. Including an early assessment task to provide students with early feedback on their progress, and clearly communicating the weighting of each assessment task in the course outline were other important guidelines. Special cases, such as tasks assessing critical competencies required by accreditation bodies or work health safety requirements, might have exceptions to the general weighting rules. In the next question, I asked the GPT to help me create a rubric for my Introduction to Programming course, specifically for a task where students create a temperature converter program. I gave it all the info: assessment tasks, course learning outcomes, assessment criteria, and grading scales. The GPT whipped up a detailed rubric covering criteria like correctness, readability, comments, bonus challenges, and testing. Each criterion had performance levels from high distinction to fail, with clear descriptions for each. This rubric was gold. It was detailed and well-structured, aligning with UNSW policies. The inclusion of a bonus challenge and detailed performance levels ensured the grading would be fair and transparent. Definitely a win here. Plus, GPT didn't forget to remind me to review the rubric, ensure it aligns with my expectations and course objectives, and make sure students have access to it before they start the assignment. This way, they can guide their work and self-assessment with confidence. Just to double-check, I asked the GPT to explain how its rubric follows best practices and fits with UNSW rules. The response was fantastic. It explained that the rubric's clarity and specificity reduce ambiguity and ensure that students understand what is expected. The alignment with learning objectives ensures that student learning is assessed against the course learning outcomes and expected standards of performance. Fairness and objectivity were also emphasized, ensuring that all students are assessed impartially. The rubric differentiates between performance levels clearly, providing meaningful feedback and guiding student improvement. It's straightforward and easy to use, supporting both students and instructors. The structured feedback helps students identify strengths and areas for improvement, and the criteria align with various levels of Bloom's taxonomy, ensuring comprehensive assessment. For the final question, I wanted to see how my old rubric from last year held up. I took a screenshot of my previous rubric from last year and asked the GPT for its thoughts on how effective it was. The evaluation was thorough. It looked at several criteria, including clarity, alignment with learning objectives, fairness, discrimination and differentiation, usability, and feedback. The old rubric had some good points, like usability and practicality, but it was criticized for vague and subjective language. Phrases like works pretty well were flagged as too vague. The recommendation was to use more precise and academic language, ensuring alignment with specific learning outcomes and providing clear, objective criteria. And here's the kicker. The recommendations included using Bloom's taxonomy for descriptor alignment. How cool is that? Not only does it sound fancy, but it also helps break down the cognitive skills we're assessing. Plus, it emphasized providing actionable feedback, so students know exactly where to improve. I loved that Bloom's taxonomy got a shout out. It's like bringing in the big guns of educational theory. All right, so there you have it. A detailed walkthrough of how my custom GPT handled some complex questions about assessment design. It provided insightful and practical advice, ensuring alignment with UNSW policies and best practices. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.